And then in a short moment, then Tom White will be doing some trading. So, Matt, good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. I know you have some great stock picks for us this morning. So I wanted to get started with good old, reliable Microsoft.
Well, first off, Nicole, thank you for allowing me to be here. And I know we're talking about Microsoft, Amazon, and Teledoc today. Quite high-flying stocks that have done fantastic this year. But I want to remind everybody, this is a market that can turn on a dime. We saw that in the last couple of hours yesterday. The market dropped quite a bit on high volume. So you have to be aware that the rug can be pulled out from underneath you. And even though we're talking about these three high-flying, high market share gaining stocks that we love, it's important for investors to remain diversified, remain prudent in their risk management, own things like gold and silver and some cash to help balance out some of these higher growth stocks. So Microsoft in particular, we love it. It's gaining market share tremendously. As soon as I get off this virtual call with you, we're going to have a Microsoft Teams meeting with our investment team, and we're not alone. We're seeing that segment grow quite a bit across the globe. In fact, it's up quite a bit. We have personal computing up 14%, intelligent cloud up 17%, and productivity in the business segment is up 6% this year when they announced. So they're growing quite a bit, and they're gaining market share, and they're going to, frankly, be well positioned to take advantage of the COVID new normal environment where people have to work remotely. In fact, their own workforce is 100% remote, so they're able to take advantage of it quite well.
Yeah, and we have so many companies pushing it back till next year when people are back to work in the normal fashion. To your point, the Microsoft Teams, I mean, I look at a long-term chart here, a 3-year chart, for example, and it's just a beauty. It's the name that if you owned it year after year after year, would you recommend, I know you noted the volatility, and rightfully so, would you recommend getting in there at any point today or sort of spreading it out, but holding it for the long term?
Yes, sure. This is a name, certainly, I think you want to hold for the long term. They're gaining market share. So it's one of the handful of names in this very low breadth market environment right now that I believe you're pretty safe holding it for the long term. However, given that we are approaching bubble territory, I would recommend any investor be willing to take profits, especially on big up moves.
Right. You make a great point. So I also wanted to talk about Amazon, a name that you've been watching closely. Tell me about Amazon. Obviously, I thought it was interesting yesterday when we were talking about Simon Property Group, that Simon Property Group, which had JCPenney and Sears, those are not working. As a matter of fact, bankruptcy, right? There's these open spaces. But what is working is Amazon, and they needed more space for fulfillment centers. So that's a great little tie-up in the works.
Yeah, so this is a fantastic segue to something they announced today called Amazon Accelerate, which is a virtual 3-day conference for small businesses. When we talk about market share gains, generally we're talking about sales and consumers. But Amazon, you also got to think about in terms of business gains. Where are people selling their products? And you mentioned JCPenney's and variety of other retail stores going bankrupt or not opening their stores, where a lot of small businesses now have to sell their products online. Where can they go? Amazon. So Amazon's thinking outside the box with this virtual 3-day conference called Amazon Accelerate. In fact, over the last 12 months, 3.4 billion products were sold by small businesses on Amazon. Now, they're also gaining share via consumers. Net sales is up 40% over the last year. So they're doing a great job on the retail front. And then also COVID is a fantastic opportunity for Amazon and frankly Microsoft, for that matter, to expand on the cloud business as more and more firms move kind of remote and more focused on the cloud.
Yeah, still soaring in the cloud, no doubt. And it's been such a great performer. And your Amazon Accelerate, this is the small business virtual event that you talked about, a multiple day event. That'll be in September, folks. So if you wanted to look into that a little more. And finally, Teledoc, something that has become monumental during COVID.
Yeah, so it's down about 27% since its acquisition of Livongo. And the market has not been punishing valuation in expensive stocks as we've seen. We've just talked about Amazon with a triple-digit PE. So with Teledoc down 27% or so, we believe it's quite oversold and a fantastic point to buy in. It's also up triple digits year to date, so certainly a high-flying stock. Telemedicine is here to stay. The acquisition of Livongo has highly complementary features. In fact, it's going to really help with their referral business. In fact, Teledoc tripled their adjusted EPS year over year, so they're growing, fantastic. It's another name in this kind of three-stock, segment here. Again, gaining market share in the new COVID normal, and that's what we're seeing with the telemedicine. And Teledoc has a huge first-mover advantage here.